Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. On today's video is going to be a review. It's been a little while since I've done one, but I think these products warrant an entire wear test video. So on today's video, I'm going to be wearing the Pat McGrath concealer as well as the under eye setting powder and just seeing how it fares on my oily and excessively sweaty face. I will be using the product on one side, and then on the other side, I'm going to be using some products that I normally use just so that I get an idea of how my usual products compare to these newer ones. So if you're interested in this review / wear test, I hope you decide to stay tuned. We're gonna get straight into it. Starting off with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have it in medium sand, and so I apply about that much. I won't be doing the rest of my face. I'm just gonna be staying home, so it really doesn't make sense to do a full face of makeup. And I want the transfer just to highlight the concealed areas. If I do the rest of my face and do the tapping test, I will end up getting transfer from my foundation, and I don't want that to happen. I just want to test the concealer and powder underneath my eyes on its own. And I did think about using the Rimmel Stay Matte, but I wanted a powder that kind of was a little similar to the Pat McGrath under eye setting powder. So I'm going to be going with my MAC MSF. This is in the shade Medium Golden, and this powder is not going to go anywhere in my collection. I love it all over my face. I love the finish that it has, but I wouldn't say it's like my favorite powder to use underneath my eyes. And I'm not changing anything with how I'm doing this portion. I'm keeping it pretty true to what I normally do. So I tap my brush in this way because I'm going to get it right up the top so that I can press it in like so. So this side is completed how I would normally do it, nothing different. And then now I'm going to move on to the Pat McGrath side, and this is the shade LM13. I believe LM stands for light medium. So again, down this way and right up here. Now I have the Pat McGrath brush. I like it to spread the product out, but I wouldn't say it's like my favorite concealer brush. It's really nice though at getting really close to the lash line and this inner corner section, but I will end up using another brush to kind of feather it outwards. So taking another concealer brush, if you're interested, this brush is the Morphe E46, and the first one that I used was the Morphe E45. I think Morphe makes some pretty good concealer brushes, so you might want to check them out. I prefer their face brushes to their eye brushes. I have this really deep wrinkle on this eye, and it's not on this eye, just so you're aware. This definitely has more coverage, but this is enough for me, so it's not something that changes my mind about the product. And now I'm taking the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection powder. This is in the shade medium, and I'm using my Unit 305 brush. This is what I've been using to powder my under eyes, and it's just a fabulous brush. Do you see how soft it looks when I apply the powder? Alright, so here we have both of the eyes done. This is, let's see what time it is. I don't want to show you my phone because it has my niece's photo on it. I don't know if you'd be able to see, but it says it is 9:57 a.m. And so I'm going to come back maybe in 2 hours and we'll see how it's looking. And we'll also do a kind of press test with like a napkin just so that I get to show you the kind of transfer I get on both sides. And if I'm completely honest, doing an entire wear test is not, I don't think it's necessary for me because I sweat so easily and I'm very oily. Let the day and the wear test begin. Silly me, this is how out of practice I am with doing wear test or reviews. I forgot to show you a close-up of what it looks like right now. So again, this is my usual concealer side, and here is the Pat McGrath. It just tends to look a little bit more dry after you powder it, and I didn't spray my face. So it does look powdery, but I don't worry too much about that because of my oily skin. This is going to end up looking like skin in about 30 minutes. So here we are at the beginning of the day. Guys, please bear with me. I'm trying to hold up my camera, but it is 11:01. So it's been an hour since this has been on, and I can already tell a difference. Can you see? I'm already getting oily underneath this side, but over here I'm still matte. It's subtle right now, but I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit more evident within the next hour. But I just wanted to show you. You see that? Like, it's still matte there, and I'm already getting that glisten on this side. So we're gonna do the napkin test next time around. All right, so I really wanna take advantage of perfect opportunities. As you can see, I'm sweating my butt off. I just made lunch. This is the perfect opportunity to do the tapping test. So I'm going to take a napkin, tear this in half. This first side is going to be the regular concealer that I would normally use. Ooh man, that's a transfer. Do you see that? I hope you're able to see that transfer. So this is my first blot of the day. Now we're gonna do the Pat McGrath side. Same amount of force. What transfer, guys? What transfer? There's nothing. Here we have it side by side. Definitely a lot more transfer on this one, and it's starting to get patchy. This side still looks pretty good. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. I will see you guys in a little bit. I know there's a towel behind me, but I just can't be bothered right now. The time is, one moment, 12:56. So that is what, 3 hours? I still think the Pat McGrath side looks very good. It doesn't look like it's breaking down where I see a bit of wear on this side. This concealer, you can see it on the edges, especially out here. This concealer is darker than my skin tone. This one suits my skin tone way better. Kind of just blends into the outer portions of my face, which happens to be lighter than like the center and my forehead. Now compared to when I started, I feel like I'm getting more creasing on this eye compared to this one. I always had this deep set right here that was there at the very beginning, but other than that, there's very little creasing, where I feel like I see way more, like there's this really deep one, and I didn't have that when we started this video. But it really isn't bad on either side. Again, there was a time when I was really sweating cooking lunch, so no side is like horrible, but I definitely see more wear on this side, whereas this one looks pretty solid. I'm also seeing more oils peeking through right here where I have pores, whereas this side still seems pretty matte. Let's do a transfer test. I don't think it's going to transfer much, to be honest. I'm not sweating, so yeah, there's barely any transfer on this side. You can see a little bit, especially right up on the top, but really not that bad. So this is for the Pat McGrath side. How do they do that? It's insane, the minimal to no transfer on this powder and concealer combo. If anything, it's like 0.2% transfer. You can't even see it because it's so minimal. And I feel like I started off with more coverage on this side, but I think the coverage now is much better on this side. This is after sweating a lot. So right now, both are doing very well, and I expected that because, I mean, why would I hold on to a concealer that's just going to not last on me? They're still holding on very well, but I feel like this one's doing a much better job. So we're going to come back maybe in an hour or two, but so far, no complaints. Okay guys, it is officially 3:14, so that's 6 hours and some change since using the concealer and powder, and I think it's fair to say like this is gonna be enough. I'm sure it's gonna look the same in 2 more hours, so we can call it a day. So here is what it looks like. You know what? I'm even noticing more transfer, I don't know if you can tell, of my mascara on this eye than this one. I don't know if that has to do with my eyes or the concealer and powder, but I thought it was worth noting. It's a significant difference of mascara transfer. And I really hope that my camera is able to pick it up, but there is definitely more wear and more breakage. The concealer definitely looks more worn on this side. I've got patches of concealer missing, and I really hope you're able to pick that up. But especially like right up against my lash line, there's a lot of foundation missing as well as underneath. And I hope that the glisten is able to show as well, that I've got more oiliness on this eye than I do on this one. This one still looks matte. Not to say this is oily, but this has maintained that matte finish, whereas this, I'm getting a bit of that oil pulling through. Now we're gonna do a final napkin test. So let's start with this side. And I have a little bit of like sweat coming through, but not significant. Yeah, there's a little bit of transfer right in the center. I hope you're able to see that. Not significant. The first tissue test, that's the most that has come off. Doing this side. Yeah, there's nothing at all. And I know there's still product on both sides because my eyes are pretty dark underneath. I'm missing some right underneath my lash line right there. The concealer's still on this side. So overall, I think both held up pretty well, which is, I mean, I wouldn't be showing you something that I hated because why would I keep those products, right? I've said that earlier. But I think when we're comparing the two, I think this is going to be the combination I go with, especially if I want my under eyes to stay in place and not look patchy or worn. I think I found my combo. Thank you guys for joining me in this wear test / review, and I hope you found it helpful. I feel like my skin type and the way that, sorry, someone's doing construction, the way that I am with the hot environment, with the fact that I just sweat so easily, I'm putting it through the ringer, and I wanted to be able to show it to you in real time to provide you with a pretty thorough wear test given my circumstances. So for me, I will say that Pat McGrath concealer and the under eye setting powder are a major thumbs up for this oily skin, sweaty girl. And I'm still so shocked. I really was not looking to buy this concealer. It was an opportunity with a discount, and so I bought it on a whim, and I'm so impressed. It's probably one of the more shocking purchases that I've made recently, and by recently I mean like within the last year or two. I'm so shocked by it. It really works. So I know what my companion concealer will be from now on with my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Gosh dang it, both of them are so expensive. But anyways guys, thank you so much for joining me in this wear test / review, and until the next video, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye guys.